From Friends to The Office to Brooklyn Nine-Nine, sitcoms used to dominate TV. But in 2025, they still hold up, or has the golden age of sitcoms officially ended? Are sitcoms still as good as today, or are they just fading out? Hello everyone and welcome back to AustinPlus Commentary, where today we are answering a really near and dear to my heart question, because I love sitcoms. They're actually, funnily enough, they help me sleep. I sometimes chuck on Friends in the background or Big Bang Theory, and I actually just fall asleep. So I have broken it down into sections, so like always, let's talk about it. Everyone says that there's a golden age of comedy or sitcoms, and I do agree with this. It used to be your typical cartoons such as The Simpsons or Family Guy, until they had stuff like Friends and Seinfeld, which were based on real people and real life, but it was just a general idea around every day-to-day life, but in a sarcastic and funny format. Single camera sitcoms are relatively new in the last 2 decades, I would say, such as The Office, Parks and Recreation, and Modern Family. But they still hold up as well. No one can tell me Chandler isn't anyone but the master of comedy. I love Chandler because I relate to him a lot because of my comedy, and also he's just a funny character overall, and he's such a nice guy as well. So no one can say that he's not the master of comedy, but the reason the golden age, I think, to me has a lot more resonance is because, not only because of that, but also it's when it was released, it's a bit different. I follow that same sarcasm, but things change over time. Obviously, this was 2 decades ago. Things are a lot different now. However, in traditional sitcoms, there was actually a really big decline in these traditional sitcoms. In recent years, streaming services have released binge-watching shows with short seasons and sessions, like 20-minute to 30-minute episodes, which is also where they are trying to compete with reality TV shows. And obviously, TikTok being as big as it is, they're trying to compete with that as well. I don't think you can. TikTok has gone so high. I don't think TikTok is actually a thing you can compete with anymore. It's just not. However, traditional sitcoms still hold up. Their glory and importance have really started to decrease in these years, but they still hold up. They're still some of the top rated out there. I will say sitcoms do struggle to stay relevant in an era of dark and dramatic storytelling. Obviously, you have so many dark stories being told on with the AI voices on TikTok, and then you've also got as I was talking about the types of comedy you have nowadays and how suppressed it is. So this dark and dramatic aspect is more what people go for, so sitcoms aren't as well received, and sitcoms really struggle to find mainstream viewership nowadays. Some of the sitcoms that you get these days are Abbott Elementary, Only Murders in a Building, Ghost, and Ted Lasso. You can sprinkle in some Young Sheldon and Georgie and Mandy's First Marriage in there. That's my personal favorites. But all of these are recent hits in terms of comedy, and they have really mastered the times and adaptation. Most reboots don't do well because most audiences think it is just a disappointment or disrespect to the originals. I am an advocate for that. I completely agree with that. Except if you're talking about Big Bang Theory, that's different because they actually were released in conjunction to each other. That's fine. That's the only exception I'll give you. In terms of the future of sitcoms, new shows like Running Point and Ted Lasso are perfect examples of adaptation and adapting to the times. We never got shows like that, but in the last decade, they have really seen a change, especially since 2020. I would say that's when things started to change for comedy. Sitcoms these days have to adapt because they simply can't return to their classic formulas because obviously times are different and things change. Sitcoms may not be as dominant in the TV media society anymore, but the best ones still hold to their ground, no doubt about it. Sitcoms are evolving with the times rather than dying, but that is just me. Do you still watch sitcoms regularly? If so, which is your favorite? But everyone, that's the end of today's video. I do hope you all enjoyed it, and if you did, please leave a like and subscribe, and comment what else you would like to see on the channel. But without further ado, hope you have an amazing day as always, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye bye. Yeah.